All right, and we are live. Welcome everybody to Hump Day Hangouts number 312. For those of you who have a calculator in front of you or your smartphone, you can take 312, you divide it by 52, and you get the number 6. This is 6-year anniversary of Hump Day Hangouts. So technically, it's a little bit over 6 years going strong because there's been some very rare exceptions to this. But we're calling this the 6-year anniversary show. We have got a lot of good stuff. I'm going to go into some of the fun stuff we're going to do today on top of answering the questions, which I can see a bunch more coming in. So we want to leave enough time for that as well. But real quick, say hi to the guys. And yeah, guys, if you have anything to add about the 6-year anniversary and your experiences through it, by all means, have a go at it. So I'll just kind of go around here on my screen. And Marco, you're first man up.
Am I? I'm usually last. Well, here I am. What's up, everybody? 6 years. 6 years. And I know I missed last week, but I posted a picture so that you guys could see it's sunny and warm. And I was at the beach and I had lots of fun. And in the middle of the rainy season, we only had rain one day really bad, but it rained most of the morning. And it was the morning that I left. Other than that, the mornings were fantastic. A couple hours of rain in the afternoon, then back in the pool. So, I mean, you can't beat it.
Sorry about that.
Come get some.
What's up?
Come get some.
Hernan, how about you? I guess you're headed into some nice warm weather nowadays, aren't you?
Yeah, man. It's actually pretty nice out there. It's getting nice and warm and sun is shining, so everything is great. I've been in Miami for 2 weeks. That was pretty cool to actually break up a little bit with the routine, did a lot of networking, and super excited to be here. And I got one of these as well, which is, was waiting for me in Miami. So that was pretty awesome. And yeah, man, life's good. Excited to be here. 6 years ago, I wouldn't have imagined that we will keep on doing this thing that was called Hump Day Hangout. And it's been quite a ride. And it's, it's also been the number one source I'm inclined to say the number one source of awareness and leads and everything that Semantic Mastery has to offer. So this stuff works. That's why we keep on doing it, because it works. It brings leads. And if you put your best content out there, people will come and respect you and buy your stuff. So that we're kind of a testimony that this type of approach works. So I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Chris, how about you, man?
Doing good. Glad to be here today. 6 years of Hump Day, unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
Not bad. I'm doing really good. I was excited about this. I was like, man, I wished at the last minute, I forgot. I wish I had like the birthday kind of hat, like the cone, but I didn't have anything. I was like looking in the closet at the last minute. And I was like, I'll do something fun we'll do some fun stuff for the holidays over Christmas. But yeah, I'm going backpacking after this. That has nothing to do with Hump Day Hangouts, but I generally go out for a run, and then I was like, you know what? We're going to go and answer the door. There might be a wine delivery. So Bradley, why don't you tell everyone how you're doing, and I'm going to go get that real quick.
Right on.
Here comes the birthday cake.
6-year anniversary, episode 312, 52 weeks per year times 6. Man. It's 312. That's fucking insane. And we've only, I've missed 2 Hump Day Hangouts, I think, in 6 years. And they were basically scheduled time off. So that's pretty consistent. I'm proud of that, guys. And I know we say this often, but we probably don't say it often enough. We truly enjoy doing this every week, or else we wouldn't have done it for 6 years for free. It's been a lot of fun. And I really do enjoy coming here and doing this every single week. So thank you all for making this, possible for us to do this for 6 years. And here's to another 6, I hope.
Outstanding. Couldn't agree more. I was going to say the same thing, so I'll just pile on what Bradley said. And, yeah, it's fun seeing the questions and the ton of just the wide variety of stuff we cover. So I did want to touch before we dive into it. We got a few things going on, and I'm pulling up our notes. We wanted to do some fun giveaways. So Marco, do you want to tell them about yours first?
Yeah. Best question today, and you have to be live for this. If you're here at the end, I will select the best question today, and I will give away 30 minutes of my time for consultation, or you can ask me anything. I mean, literally, you can come on for half an hour and just ask away, and I'll answer what I can. Guys, I charge $1,500 per hour or any part thereof. So that's what I'm giving away, because you're here to celebrate our 6th anniversary, because we're here to help people, right? We're here to help people. That's why we decided to do Hump Day Hangouts. It was our way of giving back. It wasn't really, I mean, we didn't think we would generate like this kind of buzz and as many people as we've gotten into the mastermind over the years. Nobody could have expected this 6 years ago, but we wanted to have a way of giving back. So there it is. I'm giving someone $1,500 on me.
Outstanding. And to follow up on that, I'm keeping an eye on the live viewers on our YouTube channel. If we get over 100 live, what we're going to do is we're going to give a 50% SEO Shield discount based on a random drawing. And then the rest of us are going to pick a couple of questions that we like based just on the question itself. And we're going to give away access for 2 people into 2X Your Agency. You can find out more about that on the sidebar or go to 2xyouragency.com. So
go tell your friends. Go tell your friends who live. So if we get to 100, that's going to be pretty cool.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Facebook.
All right. All we got to do is see that number at 100. So get your friends and family to come jump on Hump Day Hangouts briefly.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Come spam.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Help us stay free. Help us stay live. Subscribe to that channel. Push that button.
Yeah, that said, that's for sure. And guys, we have several people here. It looks like that just came off the webinar we did for Mike Martin. Cool. Mike Martin and his mastermind group. And Marco and I just spent a little over 2 hours with those guys. It was great. It was a lot of fun. We were talking about the SEO Shield. So welcome to all of you. This happens every single week. Again, this is 312 episodes and running. So please feel free to join us every week and post your questions. And by the way, you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notified of updates. Also, you can post questions ahead of time and we'll get to them. And you don't have to attend live. You can always, it's certainly great if you do attend live, but if you can't, we understand, but we can still answer your questions. If you post them ahead of time, you can always watch the replay.
Awesome. Okay. Well, just want to say real quick before we get into the questions, which we're going to dive into, if you are new, like Bradley was saying, welcome. One of the best places you can get started is to check out the free training available at theseoshield.com. That's the SEOshield.com. You can find out more about shielding your site and never worrying about algorithm updates again. We also highly recommend grabbing the battle plan. We used to sell that for $100. We cut that down a lot. You can check that out at battleplan.semanticmastery.com. We wanted everyone to have easy access to that. It alone is a high value. And within that area, we included a membership area with a ton of additional video training. If you want to dive deeper into some areas, we've got all of that. So you can either get exactly what you want, or you can get way more than that for paying nothing more. So head over to battleplan.semanticmastery.com to grab that. And for those of you who already have a digital marketing business, the mastermind may be the place for you to network with others like you to get firsthand access to us, as well as other members who are growing their agencies, consultancies, or their online businesses. And you can find out more about that at mastermind.semanticmastery.com. And last but not least, MGYB. Head over there. It's mgyb.co. That's done for you services, whether it's the SEO Shield, syndication networks, RYS drive stacks, link building, press releases, and a lot more stuff. Head over there, check it out. It's what we preach because it's what we do. Save time, white label, get this heavy lifting stuff done by someone else, us, so that you can then get the good results with it and spend time growing your business, not working in it all the time. Hernan's face just popped on here. I wonder if he had something he wanted to say. Or you just wanting to show?
I'm so excited to be here, man.
All right, well, I'll wrap up my spiel. I just want to make sure, because I know every week we have people joining us who don't know where they should start, exactly where to go. So again, just a quick rundown: the SEOshield.com, battleplan.semanticmastery.com, mastermind.semanticmastery.com, and mgyb.co. All right, guys. If that
last thing before we get into the questions, are we allowed to talk about Syndication Academy at all?
I don't know. Is there something to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we talk about bringing on our cohort with all that and just kind of tease out a little bit? Okay, so what it is Syndication Academy's in process of being updated, guys. It's going to be awesome. It'll be version 3 that we're going to be launching, or 3.0, or whatever we decide to call it. But essentially, it's the 3rd iteration of Syndication Academy. It's in progress now. We will be launching that soon. I don't know when exactly, but soon. And it's going to be way better than it has been in the past for various reasons. But we're going to have continual updates on a regular basis. we got somebody that is going to be doing, taking over kind of the training aspect of it, as you know, under our guidance, but it's going to be great. I think most of our audience will appreciate the new member of the team, and we're excited to bring her in to introduce her to you guys in the coming weeks. And she'll be joining us on Hump Day Hangouts once or twice a month also, just to kind of help answer questions and things like that. She's going to be very active in the Facebook group, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be a really great, you know, Syndication Academy was our like flagship product. It's really what put us on the map as semantic mastery. And it's, you know, it hasn't changed a lot. The interfaces of the Web 2.0 properties have changed, but the foundation, the fundamental principle of why it works hasn't changed at all. And we launched that product in, I think, 2013. So think about that, or 2014, one of the two. So it's 6 or 7 years old, but it hasn't changed. But we're going to update the training. It's in progress now to where everything will be new and current. And then we're going to be doing continual updates on a regular basis. So we encourage you guys to check out Syndication Academy and be on the lookout for the updates that are coming.
Well, we wanted to give people extra value, right? More value for their buck. So she's going to be there in the Facebook group, answer questions. She's going to be there, comments, concerns. If you have a particular website, maybe you find a great website, you don't know how to really go into that website, you tell her, she'll go in, look at it, do the update. She's going to be doing update webinars. She's going to be doing everything. She's really cool. She's fantastic. And I think that this is going to be really good when it launches, man.
Yeah, me too. So I'm excited about it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into questions. I'm going to grab the screen and make sure I've got all my not safe for work tabs closed. All right, I'm kidding.
Sorry, real quick. I got a funny story about that. So I do the productivity stuff on the side, and I had a video, and I'm getting better as I go. It's funny looking back at videos I did for semantic mastery, for productivity, for this other stuff. And like years ago, like I remember the first one I did for semantic mastery, I was like, I didn't show my face. It was just a screen share. I'm like, hey, this is Adam Moody. You should look at this. Do that. And it's really cringeworthy, but like, that's, you know, you got to go through that stuff to get better. Right. And somebody commented on one of my videos. It was just vicious, right? It's YouTube. And I was doing a review on a mind mapping tool. They're like, yeah, maybe you should use the tool to organize your thoughts so you don't just bumble your way through this. And I was like, damn, like, you know, when I thought about it, I was like, fair enough. Thank you. Like, so anyways, please continue.
Yeah. If you want to see some embarrassing stuff, is go back and look at the first few episodes of Hump Day Hangouts and like how awful that was. And I was approaching 300 pounds at that time. So like I was a lot different. I'm you know, 2/3 the man I used to be. So anyways, yeah, it was pretty awful. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it was fun even back then. But we've certainly all got a lot more comfortable on webinars, I think. So, all right.
I'm finally on camera after 6 years.
Yeah. Groundhog Day. All right, let me grab the screen. Okay, we should see it. So you guys are seeing my screen, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's see where we're at. Looks like we're starting with Jonah. Says, hi, guys. A term that I have heard a lot about recently in local SEO is map geo networks. What exactly are they? Or based on your experience, do they offer much value from an SEO and GMB standpoint? Thank you. I don't know what a map geo network is. Does anybody else have any idea what that is?
No, it's not something that we do. We do what's in local GMB Pro, right? That's
RYS. Yeah.
Well, but yeah, in conjunction, if needed. Some people just like to work from the GMB, but I mean, as you look for more targets, of course, you need that SEO Power Shield to complement it, add more power, and everything else that we have to offer. But I'm sorry, any of you guys know that map geo network? Adam, Hernan, Chris, anybody?
Not on my end, no. That's the first time I've heard about it.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I'm curious as to what that specifically means. Now, I know, you know, we've experimented with and used like driving directions, creating driving directions maps. That works for adding relevancy for oftentimes it's more for, in my opinion, it works better for storefront businesses. So point of sale businesses where the customers come to the business instead of the service area businesses where the business goes to the customers. Because when you do a service area business, you could create like driving directions maps to kind of help optimize for locations. But, you know, if you have a service area business, you unpublish your street address, right? So I guess you can use like city center for wherever your business is physically located. Come on, guys. A lot of the lead gen stuff that we do are spammed GMB listings. So we hide the address anyways. You know what I mean? But my point is like, driving directions, if that's what you mean. Also like in RYS Academy, we use My Maps, and there's a lot of really cool ninja stuff that you can do with My Maps too. But as far as what a map geo network is, I'm not familiar with that. So I'm sorry, I can't really comment on it.
No.
Noel says, I bought the SEO Shield and I want to set it up for a local multi-location project in the state of New Jersey. How shall I fill out the info form for that? Shall I provide the info about the main location, NAP anyways, or shall I leave these fields blank? Yeah, okay, that's a great question. If you have, a multi-location business and one of your locations is your primary location or headquarters or main office or whatever you want to call it, which typically there is one that's going to be the main location, then yeah, you can set up your original SEO Shield order with that being the NAP, the brand, and then, the NAP listed on that. And then for each subsequent location, you want to use an RYS expansion stack, right? So use the RYS expansion service, and then you add your NAP details, your keywords specific to that location into those orders. So essentially you'll have your main brand with, if it's current NAP, if it's got, if it's associated with one. There's another way that you could do it is to create like your main drive stack G site where it's just brand and keyword, but no location. And then you could have RYS expansions for each location thereafter. But if you have one location that is like considered a primary location or the headquarters, then you can make that as, associate the NAP or that specific location with the primary drive stack and G site. Like that because again, that's kind of like your first location, your primary location. That's perfectly acceptable as well. So you can do it one of either ways. Just keep in mind that what you want to do after you've built that initial stack or, had it built for you is to do the RYS expansions for each additional location. Does that make sense? Anybody want to comment on that?
That was perfect.
Moving on, Mohammed. Mohammed's been with us for a long, long time, and we're always glad to have you, Mohammed. Thank you for being here. He says, hey, guys, more of a communication question here. How do you deliver worse than expected or even stagnant results to a client? What I mean is, what do you do when something isn't going your way during your service for the client and they ask for an explanation? I tell them, I think honesty is the best policy, guys. Always have when it comes to client work, even if it's a bitter pill to swallow, so to speak. It might be difficult sometimes to have conversations when things don't work out. But I think honesty goes a long way because sometimes you can salvage a relationship by just being honest because people aren't used to that, I found, especially in our industry. So, you can always say, look, we've tried this and I can't understand why I'm not being able to get results. Here's what I propose as an alternative or something like that. Oftentimes you end up losing that client. This has been my experience. But sometimes you can, they're willing because of the honesty and the communication is good. They're willing to attempt something else. That happens. I'll give you a current example. I took on a client about 7 or 8 weeks ago now in a landscaping and tree service company. And I try to just stick with tree service stuff, especially now after taking on this newer client they also do landscaping, landscape design, lawn care services, outdoor pest control, which I've got another client in that industry anyways, and irrigation stuff like lawn sprinkler systems and stuff. So there was like multiple other like service categories that I am not familiar with because I've not done SEO for those types of services. And so they hired me to do SEO as well as manage their Google Ads campaign. And so for the outside of the tree services, like I've got those Google Ads, I've got those on point. You know what I mean? Like I understand those because I've been doing it for so long. But when it comes to like landscaping, lawn care, irrigation services, and all that kind of stuff, it's taking longer to dial those ads campaigns in than I expected, and the conversion rates are terrible. And I'm not 100% sure why. And so that's a newer client too. And I've already had to have that conversation with them as to why, why we're not seeing conversions for the ad spend. And so I'm actually shifting strategies away from doing search PPC and doing some more branding type stuff, such as YouTube ads, Google Display Network ads, and things like that, which are a lot less expensive. And since we weren't getting conversions on the PPC, the search PPC campaigns anyways, it's like, we're spending money and not getting results. So why not spend money on more of a branding approach, which is keeping that brand in front of people and top of mind so that when they are ready to make that purchase decision. So anyways, my point in telling you that, Mohammed, was that, that's a newer client. And so that's a tough conversation to have with a new client, to say, look, I don't know why this ads campaign is not producing results. But you're right. You spent, however much money on ad spend in the last month and it's not really produced. So let's try a different approach. This is what I suggest. And they were on board with that. So in my opinion, in my experience, that's, always be honest with the client. If something that is baffling you, just explain that. And hopefully you can salvage the relationship. If not, they might cut you loose, and that very well may happen, Mohammed, but that's kind of, learn from it and move on. That's all I can say. Anybody else?
Yeah, before I can give him any advice on how to deal with this, I need more information, because this is it's wide open to speculation. How did you deliver worse than expected? First of all, over what period of time has this been? Has it always been worse than expected, or have you been delivering results? When you say stagnant results, what do you mean by stagnant results? You're producing results and they haven't peaked. That you kind of hit a plateau, but you're consistently delivering results, or you're just not delivering results. If you are delivering results, maybe you need to reframe the conversation. If you're not delivering the results, then my question to you would be, why haven't you delivered the result? So that needs to be looked into. But before any of this can be answered, at least from my point of view, correctly, I need to know, like, over what period of time. Has it always been worse than expected results, or stagnant results? Or did you deliver results at some point and then now you're not? Right? There's a lot of things here that are not explained that would require a different answer.
Hernan?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you guys said. Like, I think it's a matter of managing expectations, right? It all comes down to that. Like, and this is something that I'm trying to become better at as well, like managing expectations from the get-go, telling the clients, hey, listen, we're going to be working together. This is going to be a partnership. We're going to be working together for a couple of months, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, like however long it takes. This is a partnership. And if this doesn't work, then you try something else. And if that doesn't work, then you try something else. And then if that doesn't work, then you try something else. I think that totally being upfront with the client as to how things are going, things are not going and whatnot. I think that that's pretty cool. Like, we as entrepreneurs tend to, be really optimistic, and we tend to overestimate what we can do for the client, because, you're excited about it, about getting a new client and all of that. I think that having a upfront conversation, it's a good idea. But also I think it's our responsibility as agency owners or business owners to be surrounded with people that can help out, right? It is our responsibility. Like, I'm part of masterminds, I'm part of groups, I'm part of communities that I pay for every single month. So I can go in and say, hey guys, this is the scenario that I'm going through with this client. What do you guys recommend, right? And then I will get a lot of input and a lot of, good ideas as to what to try with the client. So I think it is my responsibility as a business owner to be part of those communities and have those resources ready in case, shit hits the fan, which it will for one client or the next and whatnot. So I think that that's a position that you need to be in and invest some of your money to actually be in that position. But other than that, I'm straightforward with the clients. I would rather not take a client. Like, for instance, right now I get a lot of people searching me or coming my way for Facebook ads, right? And there's a lot of hype when it comes to Facebook ads, like people promising the world, people promising that, and it happens with SEO as well. Like people saying, yeah, we're going to rank you in 1 month for 50 keywords for $500 a month. And that's BS, that's BS. For the most part, like it is, right? And so I tend to be conservative when I'm talking to a client, like really, really conservative and really over deliver, right? Yeah. So that's the position that you want to be in, because with the stuff that Marco is showing, with the stuff that Bradley is showing, you can get those type of results, but you don't want to tell the client, right? You want to surprise them in a good way. You want to tell them, hey, listen, this is going to take time, but then you know that you have, the tool in your toolbox to actually go ahead and give them results in a faster than anyone else way. So that's my approach to this. I think that you need to be upfront with the client and just do it,
Totally agree.
Yeah, I totally agree with what they've said. And the thing I try to do, and the words I've used before and still do, things happen, manage expectations, but say, if you were in their spot, what would you want to hear? And that just helps you maintain the course of, yes, transparency, and let them know, hey, if something went wrong, that's cool. It's going to happen. You work towards letting that not happen, and you hope to manage expectations, but things go wrong. And, that could turn a client who feels burned to a client who, hey, this didn't work out well, but maybe they'll still refer people to you because they understood that, something went wrong. You were honest about it. You talk through it, either work through it, or they decided not to continue, but they were, I would respect someone who says, hey, I tried, here's what happened. Things didn't work out. What do you want to do from here? We could either try these things, or, I understand if you don't want to continue working. And that type of person, I'd be like, well, I would certainly consider, talking to them if I understood their process maybe, and, they changed things and we did things differently. But the person who tries to say, oh, well, this is actually okay, and is trying to blow smoke up my ass, I'm not going to work with them again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's really good. Like I said, I think honesty goes a long way in this industry. And sometimes, sometimes you still lose the client, and that's fine, but you'll still be able to sleep better at night knowing that you were honest, at least I do. So, all right. So next question is: general dentist in a metro region of 1 million population with a dozen competing dentists within 1 mile. So what's the best way to use the SEO Shield and press releases to get the client's GMB and money site to rank quickly and get the phone ringing? Well, with press releases, you can get results with press releases rather quickly if you do the press release silo, like PR silo stacking. Right, we did a free webinar on that. You can see that at mgyb.co, the webinars tab. You can also go to Semantic Mastery YouTube channel, so youtube.com/semantic mastery. Use the channel search feature and search for press release SEO or PR silo stacking or any one of those terms, and you'll see the webinar that we did, Marco and I. That works really, really well. What we found over, because it's like the local PR pro method, right? That's one of the courses that we have is local PR pro, and it changed slightly from the original training. And that's part of the reason we did that webinar about the press release silo stacking, because you can silo press releases together and mirror silo architecture from your money site. Just like it's what we talk about, theme mirroring all the time, right? And again, that was Network Empire taught me about theme mirroring many years ago. And it is more relevant today than it was then, in my opinion. And so, you can mirror the silo structure from like blog posts within a silo using press releases, and that works incredibly well. Same thing with GMB posts, by the way. And you can use those in conjunction. If you're trying to rank the GMB, right, you can publish GMB posts that are siloed together, daisy chained together, right? And then you can use press releases to promote the GMB posts, which ultimately promotes the Google My Business profile. So, those work really well. The key with the press release silos that I found, especially for something like what you're talking about here, with a general dentist in a metro region with a dozen competing dentists within a 1 mile radius, is that it's probably going to take multiple press releases within that stack or that silo in order for you to get results. Press releases will work great for that, but you might need to do half a dozen or more to get any results, and in quick succession too. So, that's a great option. Somebody that has a Press Advantage account, their own account, and has a lot of credits, or maybe picked up one of the subscription offers when we had those available for 12 done for you or 10 done for you on a month, like then you schedule or publish press releases in quick succession, and you'll get results from that rather quickly. But to outside of press releases, when using the SEO Shield, remember, it's about on page, first of all, having good on page structure. And then second of all, it's just how aggressive can you be with your off page to the SEO Shield. And I'll let Marco pick up there because, in certain cases where you don't have a lot of control over the on page, which happens, you can still brute force it using the SEO Shield. It just requires a lot more off page, a lot more aggressive off page strategy. So Marco, what would you say?
All right, from this, if all he's looking to do is that 3-pack, right? GMB, then look, local GMB Pro to start. Get those posts going on a regular basis. See how many you need to do per day or per week, per month, whatever it is, to trigger the phone calls, to start getting into that 3-pack, to maybe take over some knowledge panels. But that's going to require stacked posts, siloed posts. Once you have that in place, and you should be mimicking, right? Bradley just said, or theme mirroring what you're doing on the website. So this is a specific service. that you want to push general dentistry, for just as an example, you should have a general dentistry stack in your GMBs. And once you have that, then you push that press release stack to that, which is going over to your website. But your website has to be siloed correctly also so that everything flows properly. Once you hit that with the press release, then you hit those with link building. The press release, the post, and your drive stack and G site to all push power over to your money site, where you're going to have that Google My Business map embedded, iframe, so that everything flows back into the GMB. That's how you're going to pop that into that 3-pack. Lots of local images. And for a dentist, I've been racking my brain about this question, because what images can you show, like outside of the dentist's office, other than the dentist's office, to show the services about the dentist? Well, you might want to just show geolocations near the dentist, right? 1 mile radius from the dentist, where you might be at a competitor's office, but you're talking about the other dentist, that the image that you're uploading is to the other dentist. You'll have people who come to the dentist upload images and say, thanks doc for a great smile. Just whatever you can. Reviews also work. Link building to the reviews. And I'm not going to give something away that's fantastic right now. That's going to be an update to Local GMB Pro. But guys, Local GMB Pro, then Local PR Pro, then you start hammering. Then you do the iframes plus the link building. Everything. There's a madness, a reason to the madness. There's a reason for everything. Everything works in conjunction. If your money site isn't siloed correctly for those silos, then it's not going to work correctly, because you're not going to push the power back the way that you're supposed to. You're not going to start building that power the way that you're supposed to. You're not going to pop the 3-pack the way that you're supposed to, or the knowledge panel. Everything works in conjunction. So thinking that you're just going to do it with the SEO Power Shield, which you can, is kind of missing the point of all of the power you should be pushing.
Right.
If you only do the SEO Power Shield, the amount of power that you have to push is exponential. That's right. So it's going to require a whole lot more than just an SEO Shield, and it's going to require a whole lot more than probably one link building order or one press release stack. It's going to take multiples, and it's going to take multiple images, and it's going to take consistency over time, and then link building consistently over time.
Yeah, and just to expand on that briefly, Marco just hit the nail on the head. Like, I'm not in the dentist industry at all, so I don't know if these would be proper silos, but because I don't even know if general dentistry would have. I guess it would have, could be a silo, and then there could be like cosmetic dentistry, for example. I don't know that all I'm saying is create a silo on the site, right? Exactly like what Marco said. Then once you have that, right, you can mirror that same type of silo structure with GMB posts, just as Marco said. Then you can also do the press release PR silo stack the same way, right? So it's mirrored exactly the same way, interlinked the same way that you did the blog posts on the money site. Then the G site, you can mirror all of those, right? Each one of the pieces of content you published on your blog, you can create a page or a sub page within that silo on the G site and embed the blog post, embed the GMB post, and embed the PR, the press release, right? And you don't even need any new content for the G site, right? You just you embed those pieces of content that you produce that are all interlinked in the perfect silo structure, the internal linking, the link wheel that we create with our silos. And now you've got a G site page with those properties embedded, and you can just hammer those with link building gigs. And that's how you get results. And again, some additional power you can pull. And we just talked about this on the Mike Martin webinar earlier today, but the blog posts that you were publishing for that silo that are interlinked correctly are also going to syndicate out to your syndication network, right? It's part of the SEO Shield. Go grab those post URLs, put those in or embed them into the pages on the G site. So you understand now you're taking the theme mirroring of each one of the silo from your main money site. That's your point of origin. And you're mirroring that into all of the other properties in the SEO Shield and in the G site ultimately. And that becomes your link building target. Right. So you can power up every single one of those pieces of content that were all mirrored correctly and interlinked properly so that all the juice flows exactly where you want it to the top level page that you want to rank for. In this case, your GMB profile for general dentistry in whatever location you're in. So again, you can get really creative. And that's the beautiful thing I love about, and we just talked about this, like I said, with the Mike Martin crew, that I love about the SEO Shield is that you don't have to go that deep into mirroring all of your assets like that. you only do that if needed. You know what I mean? So my point is I always start with top level mirroring. And then as I determine what the level of competition is and how much it's going to take, I can go deeper into the mirroring process as needed and get to all the way down to that really granular point that I was just talking about, where you can take all of the different pieces of content for that particular silo and mirror that onto the G site and just embed all of those, iframe all those different pieces of content into their corresponding 1-to-1 ratio pages on the G site, right? And then just hammer their way with that if needed. Again, I don't do that on that would be an enormous amount of work if you had to do that for every keyword, every post, everything else. So I don't do that. I only do that when absolutely necessary. But you've got a lot of options available, right? A lot of tricks up your sleeve that you can pull out when needed.
Last but not least, let's not forget that the schema on the website, on the pages, on the service, all have to be correct. Because if you're messing up the schema, if the schema isn't right, if there's any ambiguation between him and another dentist, you're in a whole lot of trouble. If you want to learn more about entity and technical SEO and how to put this all together, join the Heavy Hitter Club. We'll be happy to help you out, man.
That's it. That was a really good question.
Yeah, that was a fantastic question. Might be a winner.
Maybe. Next question. What are we on time? Yeah, let's just roll through it, guys. If we have time for a second question, once we get him to rank in the GMB immediately around his location, what is the best way to push that footprint to get him the GMB, to get him in the GMB local pack further and further from his location? Local GMB Pro. The methods that we teach in there is specifically for that very reason that you just asked about. It's about expanding the footprint. And part of the reason we did that was because Local GMB Pro is about expanding the footprint for a GMB location, right? Whereas, we've done other training. We don't sell this anymore, but we called it Local Lease Pro, which was about getting multiple GMBs. But when Google's gone through in phases like they have, in cycles where they go on a rampage of suspending GMBs, which right now is one of those times I wouldn't recommend making edits in GMBs at all. I've experienced a suspension in the last 2 weeks or so myself. If you can't secure new GMBs, which is an easier way, in my opinion, when it's available, when that method is available to us, then you can, with the Local GMB Pro method, you can expand that footprint so that your maps profile, your GMB profile, can rank in maps packs outside of your immediate physical location, if that makes sense. And again, the specific methods are taught in Local GMB Pro. It takes consistency though, and it does take some time for you to build that authority to where you can rank in adjacent areas, because the way that the maps results are being displayed now is there's a proximity filter or a proximity. The GMB wants to return businesses that are physically located in close proximity to where the searcher is at the time that they perform the search. It can be overpowered, but it does take consistent effort and time to make that happen. Do you want to add to that?
This is especially important in dentistry. If you're an emergency dentist, you're never going to go too far out from your radius, because nobody wants to be an hour away from the dentist, right, when you have that toothache. But if you have a cosmetic dentist, now you'll go out of your way to find a really good, or a cosmetic surgeon, for that matter, right? When they have to, do a bone graft in your mouth or whatever, you will go out of your way to find the best one, not a good one close by. So you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. General will probably include an emergency dentist somewhere in there. And I'd be careful where you're trying to extend it too much, where it won't make sense to the person that's getting that display, because then you will be displayed to people who will not take action, and that can be a negative signal.
Adam?
If you guys are done with the question, I got something, but wanted to let you wrap that up.
Sure.
All right, so we wanted to interrupt this important broadcast to let you guys know we mentioned that we were going to give away access to 2 people for 2x your agency, and you guys can see that on the sidebar there. You can go to 2xyouragency.com. Let's see. This is a pretty clear-cut case of the squeaky wheel sometimes gets the grease. So let me find the name here. I think it was R. Voorhees. So I'm going to direct message you, and we're going to get you access. You were just asking, you have an agency, what's the best course to get you started? And so this is going to be the place to get you started. Go through 2x your agency. We're going to give you free access. And then you should definitely come join the mastermind after that. All right. So I'll DM you in a minute. And then Hernan, you picked someone else for the second one, right?
Yeah, Green Rhino. We have Green Rhino somewhere around there. So do you want to message? Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll shoot him a message. So both of you, and then what we're going to do is have you guys contact support, and we will get you access right away. So Marco is going to be doing an announcement here towards the end, picking his best question. And with that, let's get back to the questions.
Awesome. It's like Christmas in, well, November.
Woo.
Yay!
Our Voorhees was just on our, I recognize that, I think it's Robert. Anyways, he was just on the Mike Martin webinar. So again, welcome, by the way. That's pretty cool that you joined and got something free. Joined Hump Day Hangouts and got picked the winner. That's pretty cool. Anyways, so he says, I have an agency. What is the best course that should get me to help me running with SSM traffic agency? Well, 2X your agency is more about growing your agency, prospecting and such. I mean, don't get me wrong. We talk about the pipeline. There's 3 parts to 2X your agency: pipeline, results, and scaling. Like essentially, filling your pipeline with prospects, then getting results, which is just using, depending on what it is that you're offering. If SEO and traffic generation is part of what you do. I don't do social media marketing for any of my clients other than we post, we publish blog posts to their blog, which syndicates out to the syndication network properties. So that's about the extent of what I do for social media marketing for my clients. But I do, SEO and traffic generation. Well, if you're doing good at SEO, you're going to generate traffic and other methods too. But SEO is certainly a great way to generate traffic. So 2X your agency would be good for you. But as Adam said, mastermind is where you get access. It's about business building. It's, if you want strictly SEO stuff, go to Heavy Hitter Club. If you want more about business building and more general knowledge, where we get it into SEO as well as pretty much anything else you want to cover, that's what the mastermind is for. Our semantic mastery.
I'm going to recommend. He's already getting 2X your agency, so you guys giving him a flying start rather than a head start. I'm going to say the Semantic Mastery Mastermind and the Heavy Hitter Club, because he has an agency and he should have people helping him. He shouldn't. You shouldn't be a one-man band.
Right.
You should have a VA or more that are helping you run your agency, because if not, then you're a bottleneck, because you have to take care of everything. You don't have processes in place, or you do have processes, but you can't implement them fast enough for you to cover all of the clients that you need to cover, especially if you're good and you're already getting results for your clients. So I'm going to say mastermind, come and let us help you build your agency. And 2, the Heavy Hitter Club, where you or your VA, if you should choose your VA, can go and learn the technical SEO aspects that you need to get results. And not only that, if you join the mastermind, you get a deep discount for the Heavy Hitter Club. And it's better than if you were not to join the mastermind and only join the Heavy Hitter Club. You get a better discount by joining the mastermind.
Yeah, and you get a lot of our products that included in mastermind, are significant discounts on some of those that we collaborated with others. So there's a lot of benefits for that. So, okay, moving on. Next one is from Robert. Says, how important is it to protect IP address or footprint when logging into different GMB accounts? Does Google care? Should we care? It's not the IP, it's the browser, right? It's no longer an IP issue. It's the browser that creates the issue. For example, you should be using Ghost Browser or some sort of cache keeper or profile keeper. Ghost Browser is the one that we recommend right now. We used to recommend something else, but it's been not been supported for quite some time. So anyways, Ghost Browser, go check it out. semanticmastery.com/Ghost Browser. It's inexpensive, but that's great. And here's the thing, because of public Wi-Fi being so prevalent, right? There's, dozens or sometimes hundreds or even thousands of devices logging into the same IP, right? From a public Wi-Fi or whatever. So it's not the IP that triggers like it used to years ago, right? We used to always have to use proxies and all that kind of stuff, or else it would trigger just from logging in, like from different accounts through the same IP. It could trigger, IP locks or re-verification issues and all that kind of stuff. I don't experience any of that now at all. I use the old profile keeper. It's called Browsio. That's what I'm still using. I'm still waiting for the fucking update to come through. That's supposed to have been a year ago now. Anyways, it's outdated. I'm the only reason I'm still using is because I got so many damn profiles in there that all have their own search history and everything else built up. The idea is, and Ghost Browser will do that, and that's updated regularly. So Ghost Browser is what we recommend now. I don't use Ghost Browser just because, like I said, I got so much of my business already integrated into the Browsio platform that I wish I wasn't so married to. Anyway, my point is I log into the same, I don't use proxies at all. And I've got dozens and dozens, if not over 100 different profiles that I log into fairly regularly from the same IP. But each time I log in, that session is, the previous session is restored. In other words, my browsing history, cookies, cache, form history, form fills, all of that stuff is kept for each separate profile. You can do that in Firefox. There are some Firefox profiles, which is, I guess, native to Firefox. You can do it that way. It's a little bit more manual. There are also some Firefox extensions that will do stuff like that. I've not used any of them. I know that Ghost Browser is a really good tool for what it is that you're talking about. I recommend you use stuff like that, guys, because here's the thing. It's unnatural to do like what we used to do with like Syndication Academy years ago when I first developed that. Like, it was about either using proxies or even if we weren't using proxies, we would go, like, I would always use Firefox, a clean installation of Firefox, and then I would clear cache and cookies between logging into the next set of profile accounts. If that makes sense. But if you think about that, every time you would clear your browser history, your clear cache and cookies, and you're logging into an account with like zero history, zero, cookies, cache, all that stuff, like zero browsing history, that looks unnatural. But it doesn't look unnatural now to log in using the same IP. But every time you log in, you've got, your previous recession is restored, or it's kept your previous session is restored, so that it keeps all of like what your previous history was and everything else. So you can literally build the profile just like, normal people. Obviously with mobile and everything else, there are still some tricky things that, can occur. But my opinion is you should be using something like Ghost Browser. It doesn't have to be Ghost Browser, but something that does that same sort of function.
We have, right? We have, I can't, because even the TV and the fridge are smart. So we have like 12 devices connecting to the internet through the same IP, because I have a static IP. So I have multiple laptops, multiple phones. I have Android and I have iOS. We have 3 other iPhones and 3 other Android devices. No, it's about 15 devices from the same IP, going through the same router, through the same modem. So all of this shit about a footprint and all that's like way in the past. But we understand that people are still worried and they want to separate things. Great thing about the new Syndication Academy is that the person doing the training is going to be showing you guys how to save those Firefox profiles. Mm-hmm. And how to use it. She uses that rather than go Ghost Browser. She'll talk about that, or Browsio. I think she'll talk about Browsio too. She went directly through Firefox and is showing how to do that.
Yep.
So cool thing about the new training.
There's a lot of cool things about the new training. I'm excited about it. Tom says, congrats on 6 years, guys. I'm still here lurking every Wednesday, and that's awesome. I think if I remember correctly, Tom is, or at least used to be, somewhat local to me. And he's been lurking in the background, and he very rarely even comments, but it seems like every year on our anniversary, he does let us know that he's still here. So that's awesome, Tom. Thank you. We appreciate that. All right, moving on. Let's see. BB, what's up, BB? We knew you'd be here somewhere. He says, hey, guys, number one, do you think when Google finishes the new passage indexing update, the SEO Shield will lose slightly its power? Honestly, I hate saying this again, guys, because I don't keep up with all the fucking and I'm not all the updates and stuff all the time. What is the passage indexing update? I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, man.
I have no idea.
Okay. Do I think it will slightly lose its power? I don't know, because I don't know what that indexing update is that you're referring to. So I can't, I don't know. But we will find out. I can tell you that. And here's the thing. That's, part of the reason I don't keep up with all the different updates and stuff is because the SEO Shield, our methods tend to stick and be update proof. And again, a knock on wood. I mean, again, I'm grateful that our methods have continued to work, even update after update. Oftentimes, I'm not even aware that an update has occurred until other people bring it to our attention, like in a Hump Day Hangout or in one of the groups. And it's just because most of the time I don't see a lot of fluctuations. Occasionally, I'll see maps fluctuations for stuff because they're always tweaking the maps algorithm. But typically I don't know. So the idea with the updates are wait and see. If it does significantly affect anything that we've done, well, fortunately we've got the SEO mad hatters, the mad scientists, Marco and Rob behind the scenes that will figure this shit out, and we'll tell you once we figure it out. That's typically what happens. But fortunately, we haven't really had to do any major like scrambling to update anything in the last several years. We've been very fortunate in that respect. Any comments?
I'll worry when Google updates its ranking score algorithm, because that's what we're targeting through everything that we do. Indirect, like we're also directly targeting PageRank. That's our doorway into the ranking score algorithm. Now, if whoever is talking about this update passage indexing isn't talking about how it affects PageRank and ranking score, they don't know what they're talking about, because that's what we're worried about. And if we're worried about the artificial intelligence is being targeted through everything else that we do. Yeah. And so we're targeting the major aspects of what Google is looking for when it comes to rankings. We don't really worry about update. Let them update, and then we'll see what happens. If something happens to our properties, we'll take a look, and we'll figure out another way to push them up. We always do.
Yeah, I remember when BERT first was implemented, there was on a bunch of SEO, blogs and stuff, people were saying, you can't optimize for BERT. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we didn't know when we did it. So, and again, it's semantic web, guys. You can. Marco he said this just earlier today, but if it's a bot, a machine learning bot that if it's a machine learning bot, you can train it what you want it to do, and that's essentially what we're doing. So you said it much more eloquently than I did, though, Marco. How did you say it?
Show me a bot that's coded to learn, and I'll show you a bot that I can teach and train.
There you go. Much more eloquent than what I said. So, all right. Number 2 is, what do you mean when you say supporting article? A PR article or an article within the site to match a keyword or something else? Yeah, supporting article. Again, BB, by now you should have already read this article. And if you haven't, I want you immediately upon the end of today's Hump Day Hangout to go read this. And this goes for everybody else on here too. Go to look for Bruce Clay SEO, right? Look at or what a silo website silo architecture. That's what I'm looking for. Website. Let me spell correctly. Siloing. There you go. All right, go take a look at this. This is an article that he published. This looks like maybe an updated version of it, but I mean, it's old. How old is this article with the marbles and stuff?
He's got quite a few. He's got quite a few.
This is the one right here. SEO. Yeah. So bruceclay.com/SEO/silo. It's the page itself has changed slightly, like the interface or the look, but I'm sure the article is the same. And I think this article was written in 2011. I don't know if
I think before that.
Maybe even before that. I might have been introduced to it around that time, 2011. But this is like the foundation of what silo architecture is. This is a fantastic article, and so I would go through and read about this. And this should answer your question. I mean, I'll answer your question now, but I would recommend everybody go read through this article. This is like foundational stuff that like all website silo architecture has been built upon. This method it's really, really fabulous. Okay, so as far as what is a supporting article? Well, if you know what your top level keyword is that you're trying to promote, right? So usually that's a commercial intent type keyword. And well, there's going to be longer tail versions or variations of the keyword that are more specific or, again, variants of the original keyword, that kind of stuff. Well, you can optimize content targeting those other search queries or keywords, right? Synonymous terms, LSI keywords like latent semantic indexing keywords, co-occurring co-occurring keywords, there's a number of different terms that you can target that are basically describing the same thing. And so supporting articles is just publishing content that would fall within that silo, within that category, that topical category. Does that make sense? And yes, it can be published. When I talk about publishing supporting articles, remember, I'm primarily talking about publishing content on the blog, because that's your point of origin, right? Your epicenter, like ground zero, right? That's the golden frame. That's where your money site should be your content distribution engine, so to speak. So I typically mean publishing supporting articles in your blog, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? You don't even really need to have a blog, right? You can have a GMB website and just a GMB asset, and you can use the GMB posts to publish supporting articles and create a silo structure in your GMB, just like you would on a money site, even if you don't have a money site, right? My point is, like, you can create your top level keyword post, publish a post in GMB specifically targeting and optimized for your top level commercial intent keyword. And then you publish GMB posts underneath that interlink or link back up to that and daisy chain together. We talk about internal linking inside the mastermind a lot, heavy hitter club a lot. But again, if you interlink those correctly, so you're publishing posts that are, whether it's a blog post, a GMB post, or press releases, that can work too. But you're publishing content that supports that top level term. Does that make sense? And so again, it's about interlinking, and that's called adding depth to a silo, right? Adding breadth, right, or width to a silo would be adding like subcategories and then adding content to that. But adding depth to a content silo is adding more terms, more supporting content to add depth to that topic, right? And that's where it's almost like, and I learned this from Network Empire many years ago when I went through their certification program and all that stuff. I think that was in 2014 when I did that, is that, if you understand silo architecture and you have your keyword set, right? Your keyword theme for that particular silo, it's very tight. It's very relevant. Then by just adding enough depth to that silo and proper internal linking, you'll be able to rank that term. And we've seen that proven time and again through our own testing, but also like Jeffrey Smith, for example, SEO Bootcamp, SEO Ultimate Pro plugin. He's freaking amazing at on page and doing and adding breadth and depth to topical silos and getting results with very little off-page work, sometimes even no off-page work, just because of how good he is at interlinking and setting up silo structure and creating topical relevancy between supporting posts and all that. It's just fucking amazing what he can do. And so again, it's very, very important, guys. That's why we always talk about, starting with on-page. Silo architecture is incredibly important. And then you start mirroring that stuff into your external or your entity assets. Anyways, you want to add on to that, Marco?
No, that's perfect.
Okay, keep moving. We're almost, oh shit, we're out of time, guys. Can you believe that? Shit. Do you update the how we use the battle plan video to be newer than 2017 video in there now? I had mentioned this in the Facebook group also. I think we're going to be updating the battle plan again shortly.
Yeah, and I got him covered. He's going to reach out to me, and we're going to look into that.
Okay. And we're going to be doing another version of the battle plan here in a couple of months, so it's coming. All right.
Now the most important question though is after this. So what's Marco's secret to a beautiful tan?
Oh, chase your kids around the beach for a week or so, and you'll see.
Awesome, man. We got a lot more questions.
I can hang out for about 10 minutes. I gotta go. I got a call.
Yeah, I can't though. So if last thing I want to do is I want to answer Pavlo's question, guys, we got enough time for that, and then I've got to wrap it up, guys. I'm sorry, but
then Marco's got to make his announcement for who won the best question. So he'll after you answer this question, brother.
Okay. So Pablo's asking about Google Cache. He says how to clear Google Cache. I have an old GMB that was used for 2 types of services. Now when I'm doing a search, Google shows my GMB for old keywords. Need your advice on how to clear keywords that Google's associate with the GMB listing. Thanks a million. That's a really good question. I don't know how to force Google to clear cache other than to have it recrawled. And again, even if they recrawl, it doesn't mean that they're going to refresh the index essentially. I've experienced that with YouTube video, believe it or not. Like had a YouTube video that I did a live stream, like a live, like it was a pre-recorded video, but I was streaming it. And when I went to go set up the stream, it just used like the generic term or whatever that was in there. And for whatever reason, it indexed with that term, even though I had edited it. And my video stayed ranked for like this generic, like it was weird. I can't even explain it. Like the title tag never updated, even though like, and it was weeks before Google finally updated the title tag in the search results from like whatever the, my live stream or whatever it said to the actual keyword that the title was that I had updated within minutes of Google indexing that original stream. So I don't know how to force that. That's a really good question. Marco, do you know how to force that?
No.
Google will take its sweet old time and get to it. The only thing I could mention would be, you can't use the request indexing function inside of Search Console right now. So if it's a GMB and it doesn't have like its own website associated with it, then I don't, Search Console is kind of useless for that anyways. But you could try to resubmit through Search Console, although, like I said, requesting indexing is turned off right now. I talked about this last week, but let me just show you very quickly. If you do have a self-hosted website, this is something that you can do. It's called the Instant Indexing plugin, and it's by Rank Math. Instant indexing plugin right here. If you go and install this on a WordPress site, it let's see, that's fine, whatever. You can download this for free, and you connect it to the Google indexing API. So you have to go into developers.google.com and set up the indexing API. They've got help files. It's real easy. It takes about 10 minutes to set it up. And then you can submit through a WordPress site. You can submit URLs directly to Search Console. So, that's what I'm using right now since the request indexing feature has been turned off inside of Search Console for now. So I've got this installed on multiple sites right now. And so it's great because if you're updating a page or a post or a media file, you can change the options. But if you're updating a page or a post or publishing it for the first time, it will instantly submit it to the Google indexing API. And you can also, there's in the instant indexing plugin settings, there's a tab where there's a box that you can submit URLs directly to the indexer there. You can also call it to see what the indexing status is and stuff like that. So again, very, very cool. It's free. Rank Math instant indexing plugin. Check it out. All right, guys, do what you're going to do. As far as like picking a winner or whatever you're going to do.
Somebody help me out because I know that we picked 2 people already, and we had some really good questions. So
yeah. I'm typing one of them. So yeah, you guys help Marco out if you guys see a good question.
Someone that didn't win already, or we can pick the same person to win multiple times. Makes no difference to me. We said Green Rhino's question was really good.
Yeah, but they just wanted 2x your agency, didn't they?
Yeah, but they're in the mastermind, they said, so we can pick them. I told them we'd pick something else. So that's who it is?
Oh, there you go. Whoever that is, send me a private message in Facebook, and we'll hook up your 30-minute consultation.
Perfect. I'm going to also send them something else. So cool. I also just sent you instructions just to make sure. Shoot us an email, get in touch with Marco, and we'll get that set up.
Yeah, really quickly. Also, Green Rhino, if you're in the mastermind, keep in mind, listen, Hump Day Hangouts, remember, is a free forum, so we can only talk about things on a conceptual level. Don't not use the webinars in the mastermind. That's what they're available for, so that we can deep dive into anything you want to talk about, get as specific as you want. We can audit your properties or look at what you're doing for marketing. If you want, we can do that. So the mastermind, again, remember, if you want to ask in-depth questions and get really thorough answers, and like where we'll go into screen shares and do all kinds of cool stuff, that's what the mastermind is for. Use the mastermind submit questions form, and also ask questions in the Facebook group, and we're happy to answer them in the Facebook threads. But also, if it requires a longer answer, then we can cover those in our mastermind webinars, and each one of us do our own mastermind webinars. So don't forget, use that instead of saving your questions for Hump Day Hangouts, where we can only talk about them on a conceptual level. I just want to make that clear so that you get the most out of it. Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Happy 6th, guys.
Onwards.